What big eyes you have! Eyes of an incomparable luminosity, the luminous phosphorescence of the eyes of lycanthropes. The gelid green of your eyes fixes my reflective face. It is a preservative, like a green liquid amber. It catches me. I am afraid I will be trapped in it for ever, like the poor little ants and flies that stuck their feet in resin before the sea covered the Baltic. He winds me into the circle of his eye on a reel of birdsong. There is a black hole in the middle of both your eyes. It is their still centre. Looking there makes me giddy, as if I might fall into it. Your green eye is a reducing chamber. If I look into it long enough, I will become as small as my own reflection. I will diminish to a point and vanish. I will be drawn down into that black whirlpool and become consumed by you. I shall become so small you can keep me in one of your osier cages and mock my loss of liberty. I have seen the cage you are weaving for me. It is a very pretty one, and I shall sit hereafter in my cage among the other singing birds, but I shall be dumb from spite. When I realized what Erl-King meant to do to me, I was shaken with a terrible fear, and I did not know what to do, for I loved him with all my heart, and yet I had no wish to join the whistling congregation he kept in his cages, although he looked after them very affectionately, gave them fresh water every day, and fed them well. His embraces were his enticements, and yet, oh yet, they were the branches of which the trap itself was woven. It might be the death of me, although I knew from the first moment I saw him how Erl-King would do me grievous harm. Although the bow hangs beside the old fiddle on the wall, all the strings are broken so you cannot play it. I don't know what kind of tunes you might play on it, if it were strung again. Lullabies for foolish virgins, perhaps. And now I know the birds don't sing. They only cry because they can't find their way out of the wood. They have lost their flesh when they were dipped in the corrosive pools of his regard, and now must live in cages. Sometimes he lays his head on my lap and lets me comb his lovely hair for him. His combings are leaves of every tree in the wood, and dryly susurrate around my feet. His hair falls down over my knees. Silence like a dream in front of the spitting fire, while he lies at my feet, and I comb the dead leaves out of his languorous hair. The robin has built his nest in the thatch again. This year he perches on an unburnt log, cleans his beak, ruffles his plumage. There is a plaintive sweetness in his song and a certain melancholy, because the year is over. The robin, the friend of man, in spite of the wound in his breast from which Erl-King tore out his heart. Lay your head on my knee so that I can't see the greenish, inward-turning suns of your eyes any more. My hands shake. I shall take 2 huge handfuls of his rustling hair as he lies half dreaming, half waking, and wind them into ropes very softly, so he will not wake up, and, softly, with hands as gentle as rain, I shall strangle him with them. Then she will open all the cages and let the birds free. They will change back into young girls, every one, each with the crimson imprint of his love bite on their throats. She will carve off his great mane with the knife he uses to skin the rabbits. She will string the old fiddle with 5 single strings of ash-brown hair. Then it will play discordant music without a hand touching it. The bow will dance over the new strings of its own accord, and they will cry out, "Mother, mother, you have murdered me."